Our father received a certificate from the city of Antwerp from the mayor back in 1945, thanking him for heroic service under frontline conditions. And our father ran the rail units, the rail yards, with the 743 from the port of Antwerp through Belgium into France and then into Germany. And it was because of that certificate that generated a contact with the city of Antwerp to say thank you and how proud he was and we were that the city appreciated his service. And so that contact was made a year ago, and then we corresponded with the city, which eventually got us here.
Well, just 75 years later, it's been amazing to understand the significance of Antwerp in World War II. It once was a pistol pointed at the heart of England, and then it became a pistol pointed at the heart of Germany. And everything that happened afterwards, the V1, V2 attacks, and the Battle of the Bulge was an effort on the part of the Nazis and Hitler in particular to turn that backwards so that that pistol was no longer pointing at the heart of Berlin.
Our father didn't talk to us a lot about his experience, and so 75 years later, just realizing that we are participating in the commemoration of the liberation of Antwerp, we have learned so much more about what our father experienced. And we had no concept that he had hundreds of pictures, and we have since found those pictures, and those pictures have told us a journey of his experience over the time period that he served in Belgium and then in France and then in Berlin. But we had no idea what those stories were.
But what stories he did tell us were focused on the terror that was launched by the V1s and the V2s. And he talked about the buzz bombs, and he said, as long as you could hear the buzz, you felt you were safe. The moment that the buzz turned off, you knew that you had a likelihood of dying. Antwerp was a city of sudden death. He was one of those that were in a military convoy that went through a plaza, and moments after he went through that plaza, there was a V2 that hit. I understand it got tangled up in some of the tram wires and just exploded right above street level and disintegrated a military policeman that was directing traffic in the center of the city.
His office was bombed out. We have pictures of where the windows were all shattered, and
in
you
Central
can
Station.
you can see where everything was damaged, and the fear that they must have lived through every single day. Citizens, military, anybody.
What we also saw in his pictures were pictures of city life in Antwerp, people going about their normal daily lives, dressed to the heels and walking their dogs, and pictures in the zoo. Also, what was kind of incredible were pictures of orphanages, orphan children, and how the U.S. troops entertained orphans on Christmas Eve and presented presents. It was a total experience that the soldiers that fought and were stationed here experienced. It wasn't all about death. It was also a lot about life and bringing freedom to the people of Antwerp.
Our parents invited children every year from Garden Angel Orphanage to spend Thanksgiving, Christmas, and Easter with us. And I think that invitation was a result of his experiencing the orphans in the Catholic orphanages here when he was on his tour of duty.
We are altogether very grateful for the invitation they have provided to our family. And the reception that we have been given has just been outstanding. We are altogether very grateful, very thankful to Antwerp and to its citizenry.
Yes, we're very glad that Antwerp remembers.
We're the children of the war vets, but we're on our way out, so to speak, and the commitment that the city of Antwerp has demonstrated is to continue to educate the younger generations about the experience of war and what that really means. And so this opportunity to see this firsthand really tells us that they're committed to teaching people about the horrors of war and the need for peace and the need for collaboration and the need to get along.